Nevertheless, I'm here with my friends and the friends next door in opposition to this project. Let's just keep this thing simple. We don't want it. Don't spend any more money on consultants. We don't want it here in Rockdale County. And I think that it is somewhat negligent of this board to not present this in a form of a referendum to allow us as taxpayers and homeowners to weigh in on this. It seems to me that you put the cart before the horse as opposed to the horse before the cart. And I think that had you done it the proper way, we wouldn't be where we are today. And so this backlash that you're experiencing is because you all failed, period. Now I did compile some comments that I wanted to read on behalf of my subdivision, and so let me read them. As a homeowner, the idea that this board, in effect, unilaterally has taken it upon itself to usurp power that wasn't given to you, to infiltrate the free market by mandating in whom we as taxpayers should do business with as it pertains to our refuge collection service is unconscionable. This unbridled behavior that has been demonstrated by this board heaped upon our county can and will no longer be ignored. On behalf of the homeowners of the Pine Forest community in whom I represent, we demand that you scrap this idea expeditiously. I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. The fact that we have veterans, seniors, people who are grappling with whether or not they should pay for the roof over their head or the medication, and now you want to give them an additional tax, because a fee is a tax. Give them an additional tax shows, in my view, that you really don't care about your constituents. If nothing else, and I'm a former elected official, if nothing else, we must always care about the vulnerable, those who are the least among us. And I would hope, I'm not even going to talk about get rid of it. It's done deal, it's going forward, it's not going to happen in Rockdale County, that's it.
I think the main problem here is the way the Board of Commissioners approaches the problems. Rather than come and say, I'm going to write a contract, or I wrote this contract, you should put on the internet or on the website, you should put the presentation of the problem and say, we have a problem with removing the fat and grease and all that. Now, that should not be a statement, that should be actually measured and analyzed and determined so people understand that there is a problem. If you come in directly and say, we sign a contract with this guy, and you're not bringing another 2-3 competitors, I have the impression that you got some interest in having the business done this guy. It's automatically. Now, I looked on his website, and he said on the website that in the United States there are sanitary sewer overflow of 75,000 cases reported by EPA, out of which 48 are blockages, and from those 48, 47% are caused by the grease. Now, if that's the case, that's only $17,000 blockages. If you take the number of households in the United States, which is 117,716,000, and divide that 17,000 by the number of households, you're getting the incidence of 0.000144 blockages per household per year. Now, if you multiply that with the 30,000 households in Rockdale, you will have 4.33 blockages per year in the entire county. So I think, because you did not study this problem, we all started to say that we need this problem, or that the pickup is bad. I never had a problem with the pickup. And you heard that many times tonight. And therefore, the pickup is not a problem. I have Burgess, and looking at the prices and the claim that this is a consultant, and I don't know, we had some problems here with other applicants that didn't have degrees. Maybe this guy had a GED at least, this consultant. We cannot jump on it and have that.
Marvy Arwood, I've lived in the county since 2003, and I appreciate you giving me the chance to talk to you. I do have a few questions on number one. Mr. Henry stated that it's a bidding process. It's not a bidding process. Why would you not want it to be a bidding process? If you want to represent the county, you want to save money for the county. So if you got competition and you're going Republic, all the other companies that have been doing this for years, why would you not use those guys? Why would you not try to get a bidding contract to save the county money? Most counties do have trash pickup, I understand that, but it just seems to me that you wouldn't want to do a bidding contract here. I'd ask, why do we only have one person that we contracted this with? Why don't we go to other companies out there? There's plenty of them that's been doing it for years. Republic, been doing it for 50 years, whatever. But I'm just a little curious of why we didn't get other contractors out there looking at it. Rockdale County, we do have a wastewater treatment facility, right, in Rockdale? So wouldn't wastewater treatment do that type of stuff? Wouldn't it be more feasible to put money into wastewater, have them trap that grease and everything else instead of paying an outside contractor? And that's about it. That's all I got.
Thank you, Mr. Allred. Thank you. Mr. James Owen. Mr. Owen's here.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Everybody else has said my comments and said it really well, so I'm just going to keep it really short. And I just want to let everybody here remember that nothing is ever free, right? The Commissioners here have retained a firm that is providing a free service to perform an assessment and to design a trash fog pickup service. What kind of system do you think this firm will design? He will probably design one that is most advantageous to this firm, and since this is a sole source contract, it means that you, the Commissioners, who probably don't know the first thing about the cost of such services, will be negotiating blindly instead of evaluating competitive bids. So, be careful.
Thank you, sir.
Morning, Commissioner.
Good morning.
Chairman.
Good afternoon.
I just, I've lived in this county all my life. The government does not need to tell the residents of this county who they need for garbage service. Most of the residents of this county take care of their garbage. A lot of this garbage you see on the side of the street, people go out, lay it on the front of their car, go drop it in at the end of the driveway. They never do. They drop it off in the street down the road. I feel like right here what's happening is, when this country was established years ago, it was other people for the people, by the people. Anymore, it's like gone to a more political era where it's government of the government, for the government, by the government. And based on that, I don't see why we need to change anything in the county. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Mr. John Bowers.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, good afternoon. To begin, I'm going to offer a paradigm of governance that was set forth by Gifford Pinchot, who was the first chief of the U.S. Forest Service. I think many in here will, after hearing what they've had to say, will agree we need a lot more Pinchots in our government these days. A public official is there to serve the public and not run them. Public support of acts affecting public rights is absolutely required. It is more trouble to consult the public than to ignore them, but that is what you are elected to do. I, like many, if not most Rockdale citizens, am extremely satisfied with our current free market system of residential waste management services. We value individual freedom and personal choice, free from governmental interference. We are incensed that this Board of Commissioners has initiated a contract whose ultimate goal, if followed through the phases, is to eliminate individual freedom and personal choice by monopolizing residential waste management services and thereby increasing the cost to its citizens. And have done so in what appears, perception is reality, in a covert manner with no public participation, no discussion, no information, and no transparency. This contractor has no experience or education in waste management services. Best I can tell from available information, is a concert or entertainment promoter, hardly qualified as an expert in waste management services. The entire contract as worded is little more than a sole source agreement for Greenwood to serve as a middleman, which actually increases inefficiency and increases cost to the consumer, who is the Rockdale citizens. Based on the comments of the BOC at its January 23rd meeting, the basis of this contract, at least it seems, and subsequent effort is follows. My 6-member household produces less than a coffee cup of fog in a month. It is used to reinforce positive behavior in our pet dog and cat. There's no evidence that this effort will measurably or significantly change residential behavior concerning the treatment of household grease. If they won't put it in the container now, they're not going to put it in the container and then carry it to the curb. They will still pour it down the drain or dump it in the yard. This is an educational and code enforcement issue, not a waste management services issue. Does not necessitate this contract. Our Rockdale Water Resources has or provides no educational information on this issue on their website. That would be a start. Thank
you. Susan Torres. Ms. Torres is here. Good afternoon, Ms. Torres.
I'm Susan Kishwan Torres. My family has lived in Rockdale for 50 years. I love this county, to the point that I have actually been employed for 20 years out by Six Flags, and I would drive into traffic to get there. But I don't like Fulton County. I don't like DeKalb. They're very heavy-handed. I like Rockdale. So I am totally opposing this idea of mandating our pickup. I have curbside service and they have always been wonderful. They work with me, they talk to me, they're nice. I would like to have had all of our people who are over there and here all in the same room so y'all could see at one time how big we are, how many we are. And we are so excited to make certain that y'all understand how we feel. And I'm hoping that all of our talking to you today will be of some help and that you just won't dismiss us. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. David Collins. Mr. David Collins. Mr. Collins. We're going to bring the microphone to you, Mr. Collins. Okay.
Not needed. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman,
Good afternoon.
lady commissioners. Good afternoon. I see this as a four-way problem. The first problem is fats, oils, and greases. Who's affected by it? Rockdale Water Resources. Where are they? Where is their input? I see non-source oils as being a source of problem. Where does that go? Dump it on your driveway, dump it in the environment, it goes to stormwater. Where's stormwater here? I don't see it. Third, we have a litter problem, disposal problem in Rockdale County. One thing that comes to mind right off the top of my head is the incident last fall where they found deer being disposed of on the side of the street down in southern, on the eastern portion of the county, because some DOT contractor picking them up off the interstate decided not to take them to a landfill, conveniently dumped them. What kind of a problem is that? Code enforcement. Where are they? The fourth leg of this is the common household. Many of us, and I won't say all, single-family homes, many of us put out a contract with a private hauler. Some do not. They take their waste to the transfer station. Perfectly appropriate. We don't need an additional level to do that. The one people set that we have is the people from outside Rockdale County and from within Rockdale County who leave their trash on the side of the road. That's a code enforcement problem. That is not a waste disposal problem. If you're going to put this together, what you're attempting to put together right now, by way of this contract, is a semblance of the Newton County Solid Waste Authority. They have an authority which has functions on the county level, and they run on that level. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ken Holliday? Mr. Holliday's here.
Thank you, Commissioner and ladies. Thanks for answering my email the other day. I appreciate that. There's a couple of things that I wanted to cover here. Is our county attorney, I understand, hovers over everybody in this county as to how they are controlled by the law, etc. And I can't understand why we chose a person for this, Mr. Walker, with questionable character. Now, you know him, she knows him, I'm sure the county attorney knows him, that there should have been a red flag somewhere that this guy is questionable, especially in a situation like this. Next is single source. I spent my life in business winning and losing single source contracts. And to qualify for single contract properly is to, you have to show what business plan you have for the next 5 years. You have to have enough people to do it. You have to have enough plants or brick and mortar to support something like this. And you have to prove yourself by existing customers that you have that they will come in if you are qualified to do the job. And I've won some and I've lost some. And they're hard. The ones I won, you're under the gun all the time. If you fail one time, they don't have anybody to fall back on. And if you tried something like this, and if it failed, and you went to one of these collectors now and said, we need your help, what do you think what would happen? We don't know who you are. or they'll charge you out the wazoo for it. In ending here, I got an idea that I think we need to think about is that our trash haulers in the county here go by all these places that have the trash piles on the side of the road and that kind of stuff, mattresses and situations like that, bags of garbage. Why not get with them and say, look, how about y'all taking this area, you got trucks going by there every day of the week. Would you mind stopping by there once a month and get what you can right there? And I think if you got all your haulers together in one room, especially if this thing is voted down, which I hope it is, I think you'd be surprised how they would help you out. Okay, I thank you very much, and good luck on this.
Miss Vivian Garner. Miss Vivian Garner. Miss Vivian Garner. Anita Christian. Miss Christian. Come on up, Miss Christian.
Anita Christian. I wish I could speak as eloquently as Brian Jenkins did, because he said everything I would like to say, but unfortunately I can't, so I'm reading my thoughts. I'm totally against mandatory pickup, whether it's inevitable or not. I believe in free enterprise and everyone should have a choice. And despite what Ms. Washington said, she doesn't know what's best for our citizens. Even though it's not against the law to not get bids, it would have been above board and honest to go ahead and get bids. Anytime you think what's best for us as citizens, it should be put on a voter ballot. We do not want our county to be known as corrupt like neighboring counties. This is not about keeping the community clean, as others have said. Code enforcement should be taking care of that, and a position was created to head up code, and he should be doing his job. There are other ways previously mentioned to keep our community clean. I am totally against what this board is doing. Please hear our plea and stop this.
Thank you. Mr. Raymond Garner. Raymond Garner. Mr. Raymond Garner. Patricia Matthews. Miss Patricia Matthews. Miss Patricia Matthews. Miss Corrine Lindley.
My comments have been stated over and over.
Is that you, Ms. Lindley?
Yes.
Thank you so much, and appreciate your time and your patience in coming out this morning. Thank you so much. Miss Essie Collins. Miss Essie Collins. Miss Collins is here.
Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mine have been stated over and over too, but I'm gonna repeat what somebody else. My name is Essie Collins, and I have lived in Rockdale all my life, and I think it's a nice place to live. And most of us here, I believe, is senior citizens, and we mostly live on fixed income. So I think it's a sad thing for the people to, go on water bill, property tax, and garbage bill. My concern is about the garbage bill, property tax, and water bill. I'm satisfied with my garbage pickup, whom I have had for many, many years. If my bill get a little high, I'm not gonna tell you I will, But I called them up and we had a discussion, a long discussion about it. And they will come down. And the company that you all got in mind, I believe if I call them up, they'll probably go higher instead of coming down. I don't believe they'll come down. And I just want, it used to be a time when the people was in jail, they would come around and they would keep their roads clean. Yep. We didn't have to have no garbage bill for the side roads and all that. So I wonder what happened to that. I think y'all should check on that again. Give them a job to do. Instead of eating, sleeping, playing basketball, or whatever they do in jail, give them something to do. And that will probably keep some of them out. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Washington, I've had the opportunity to work with the board the last 10 years in Central, and I have some questions. This Washington has not had the chance to be used yet. What are you trying to accomplish with this?
That's not why we're here, please.
These are going to be questions.
But let me help you out, Commissioner. So go ahead and ask your questions of, it's okay to ask the questions of Commissioner Washington. She won't engage in the dialogue, but I'm going to give you how we're going to work it out. After the meeting, you can put your questions before the public and ask your questions of the public audience so that everyone can hear what your questions are. And then after the meeting, you all can get together and you can get the answers to your questions and she can respond that way. I don't want to open up the floor that kind of way. I haven't done that for anybody else and I don't want to do that here. I want to be respectful. But go right ahead, sir.
These questions were meant to be questions that were just let you guys think. First of all, I want to thank everyone that showed up today. I really thought, because I'm one of the noisemakers on Facebook, this was silent until we stood up and we saw what was happening. There was a drive that we, the public, we, the community in Rockdale, never had any input on. And that is bad for government. We have commissioners that are coming up for re-election. And these midterm re-elections are going to be really interesting. I honestly expected a few Republicans to show up, but in the overflow room, I saw different faces. I saw Democrats, your voting constituents, that are saying, no, we do not want this. And only a complete fool would ignore its voters and continue on in this. They're great ideas, but not every idea works in a place. Rockdale County's problem is not trash pickup or fog. Like I said, I've worked with the recycling center. What we need is education. We need I'm a Knight of Columbus in my church. We adopt the entire area from 138 all the way to 212. We go out there twice a year and pick up trash. Yes, there is a problem. What percentage of Rockdale citizens are creating that problem? I own properties in Rockdale County. And honestly, if my property taxes go up, my renters are going to have to pay. We had someone earlier that said that they're in fixed incomes. There are times when my renters can't pay that rent. So if I increase their rent by $50 to cover that a month, what happens then in Washington? Are you going to be able to sleep knowing that you are responsible for possibly getting someone evicted? Ms. Williams, you've been in Rockdale for a long time. These are faces that you are going to have to run into when they say that Mr. Al Smith evicted me because I could not pay the extra $50 or $75. How did it, I need more than 3 minutes. How did we get to this company?
What I allow you to do, Mr. Smith, is to wrap up your time.
Okay, let me write it. Here are my questions. How did we get to choose Green Hood? Did we have any other companies, Mr. Hambrick, that we reached out to, because Greenville has no experience.
And your next question?
I'm going to end my stuff by saying this. I'd like to thank all the citizens of Rockdale who showed us the center of sending messages to our commissioners of no. In the end, this stance by the citizens of Rockdale is not only about trash, it's about sending a message to our local government that we will not silently stand by while you prove the power that we granted you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Smith, I want to encourage you, if you would just be a little bit more patient and meet with Commissioner Washington at the tail end of this meeting, if you're interested. If you're interested. Okay. Next up is Mr. Warren Tillery. Mr. Warren Tillery. Warren Tillery.
Mr. Chairman, a point of order, please. You have set a time limit.
Linda Delback. Miss Linda
I
Delback.
appreciate it if you would honor that time limit.
Miss Linda Delback. Linda Delback. Okay. Miss Janice Morris. I saw Miss Morris earlier. She's over next door. Okay. Okay. She had to leave already. Okay.
Have we not brought
Joan Webb.
here? They're watching.
Miss Joan Webb.
The seats in here.
Miss Joan Webb. Okay. Gordon Jett. Mr. Jett. Gordon Jett. Mr. Gordon Jett. Brenda Davis. Miss Davis is here. Brenda Davis.
Greetings to the board. My name is Brenda Davis, and greetings to
Thank you for your patience.
good afternoon. All that came out and had a voice, and I want to thank you for letting us have a voice today. And I thank you all for the voices that came before me. My name is Brenda Davis, and I'm part of the Stony Brook community, and that's the Honey Creek area. I've been given the information about what's happening. It was given by other community persons. And the only thing I could think of when I woke up was, say that flag over there. It says, you know, when you do the Pledge of Allegiance, towards the bottom it says liberty and justice for all. And as a community, I feel like we should have the liberty to make choices. And not somebody to do mandatory on us, and that's dictation to me. I migrated here from California, and I have seen so many fees that I have never seen in my life. We got the water, then there's a storm water, never heard of nothing like that. And then even with all my other utilities, there's so many fees. And I am tired of being, pulling out my pocketbook, money that I need to pay my bills, and that additional money that's going to cost me, because I do have a rubbish company. I am responsible, as is probably the majority of the people in this community, picking up my rubbish. And I do not want the dictation for that, saying it's mandatory for me to have another service that's going to cost me more money, because that's money that I could use to do repairs on my home, pay for medical, and of course you have seniors and people that are really struggling financially. This is not a win for them. It may be a win for, the office, our people in office, as far as, it looked like a moneymaker to me, not taking in concern for the community. And I would like to just say to you today, please, take this to heart and mind about the people that is going to suffer from something like this coming into place. And again, I just want to thank you for the time. And again, I thank everybody for coming out. I was glad to see the numbers. It meant a lot to me. Have a great day.
Okay, I'm down to my final red card, but I want to make sure that we do not overlook anyone. So I'm going to leave this last opportunity for those that, I have one last card to call. So if you submitted a card and I don't have it, or you didn't have the opportunity to submit a card, we want to afford you that opportunity right now to get a red comment card so that you can have your say before we close out this portion of our meeting. We still got a lot of other business we got to take care of, and we interrupted the regular process of the meeting to entertain public comment. So is there anyone that desires, not someone that's already spoken?
I just want to make a suggestion.
Well, hold tight. Let's take care of the folks who, first I want to take care of those people who not had the opportunity to speak, that have, I can run this meeting, sir. Thank you, Mr. Victor. Thank you so much.
Is my name on my last card?
No, sir. So the last card I have is Miss Jerry Bird. The last card I have is Miss Jerry Bird. If there are any more cards out there, I don't want to overlook anybody. If you want to speak, we're going to give you that opportunity to do just that. Anybody that's desiring to speak, if you would raise your hand and we will get a red card to you. Anybody desiring to speak, if you haven't already, be sure and raise your hand. We will give a red card to you. Tom, were you interested in this?
No.
Okay. All right, Ms. Bird, if you would come on up, and while those other folks are filling out their card, we'll get them and be sure. We'll go ahead and entertain your concerns at this time.
Do you want, I'm just gonna,
And thank you for your patience.
thank you. I'm just going to mention garbage a little bit, trash a little bit, but then I had another issue today.
Is it relative to where we are right now?
No, so let me just go ahead and make my few minutes and then.
Go right ahead, sir, ma'am.
You could have saved us, Mr. Chairman, a lot of time and energy if you had just been transparent and told the people that 3 years ago, you called 2 town hall meetings and we all rejected the idea. This could have saved a lot of time and energy and money probably. However, it also could have cut Corey Hambrick back by 30 minutes. Thank you. That's all I had to say about it.
Ms. Kelly Boswell, Ms. Boswell, if you would come on up. Yes, ma'am. And thank you for your patience
Good
as well.
afternoon, Chairman,
Thank you.
Commissioner. My name is Kelly Boswell. I live on McCalla Road, and y'all know about all the trash. But also, I want to say, I do not need somebody to tell me how to get rid of my oil. Maxwell House 10 works fine. It's been working fine since I've lived here since '69. Another thing, I've gotten with code enforcement. I have to pick up trash twice a week on McCalla Road. A lot of the addresses I get, I call code enforcement. They don't want to do anything about it. I've been giving them to the sheriff's department. Haven't heard any outcome on it. If I take them to court, they're going to cut the fence, do something to the cows. We've already had battery acid pour on one. And it's just, we got to do something. City of Conyers makes their community service workers clean the horse park. We need to get back to people doing community service back in this county, picking up trash during the week and on weekends. The trustees, I've only seen them one time on McCalla Road. And they're out there every day. I know it's a small county, but it's a big county. And Miss Sherry, you look like you just don't even want to be here. You've not gave no respect for anybody up there. When you was campaigning in front of Peach Chapel School the day that we voted, your campaign left all their garbage right there on the side of the road, at the sidewalk. Who picked it up? I did. I'll send you a bill when I get back to the office. We love Burgess. We don't want to leave Burgess. We have 7 cans we use. They go to our office, they go to the house, they go to the shop. We don't have to carry them up to the road. We pay for that service, but we love it. And I've been living here 49 years. And that's all I gotta say.
Mr. David Hall, thank you for your patience. Come right on up, please, sir. Mr. David Hall, Director DA, is this the last one? Did we omit anybody? Did we overlook anyone in the audience that came out today and wanted to have an opportunity to express themselves to the Board of Commissioners and have not had an opportunity? Again, I'm almost going to beg you that we don't want you to leave here without having an opportunity to express your comments. The overflow room is empty, and they've been, okay, very good. Mr. Hall, the time
Mr.
is
Chairman, my name's David Hawley. I live in Honey Creek and have the last 32 years. I also went to school here in Conyers in the 1st and 2nd grade. I like Rockdale County. This concerns me. I have a few points that I've gotten some cleared up this morning, and I've learned a lot in the last 3.5, 4 hours. My first point is, I don't understand how all this just came about. It looks to me like the first step, if you're going to do a contract like this, would be to have a study to see if you needed what you're contracting for. But I don't think this was done. And, you know, it's, after you do that, then, you know, find somebody to implement it. But there was no study done, and it looks to me like there should have been. And, you know, how is Greenwood going to make any money on this contract that I understand the county is not going to pay anything for the 5 years? I don't know whether I'm right about that or not. That's just what I get. I just don't understand it. Nobody does anything for free. You know, nobody that I know. But I'd like answers to those questions. And I guess I'll be at the next meeting and continue to find out. Another thing that I don't understand is no background check was made on Greenwood. And, you know, I've done a little bit of research on the internet, and it's appalling. You know, I looked on LinkedIn last night, and I couldn't even find the college that Mr. Champ, whatever his name is, I couldn't even find the college that he attended. And then I saw where he had written all this stuff, and he was addressed as doctor one time, and then I found where this college was in Florida. It was a Bible college, and it was, I think it was an online college only. He has no experience in this business. So, I'm completely baffled. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. I want to say thank you to everyone who came out this morning and sat through this meeting. I think this was a fine example of the spirit of this community come out to express and allow your voices to be heard. You can rest assured this board has heard from you. We're about to go back into the other portion of our meeting where we're going to go through agenda review. You're more than welcome to stay as we go from item to item with our agenda review. Or if you'd like to leave at this time, you're welcome to do that. We're going to continue this business momentarily.